So the psychotic harassment and surveillance-based hate stalking of Greenville's mentally disturbed group of BLM activists, so-called activists, because they're not really activists, they're just a bunch of career criminals with some serious behavioral issues. Their engagement in constant criminal acts, behaviors, and activities towards me never stops. And one of the things that this group of BLM activists has been doing for a few years now, that they have admitted to doing stupidly on social media, is contaminating the water to my bathroom and to my kitchen tap. That started happening back in 2019 when a psychopath, sex offender, and cyber criminal who was in the employ of the Greenville group named Jasmine Irizarry was residing officially in the bathroom located behind this wall. And on a Sunday afternoon, she engaged in about 2 hours of protracted plumbing work against the pipes to this tap right here. And ever since then, the water from this tap has been causing a lot of health issues, a lot of skin burns, blisters, safety issues, meaning you can't use it for anything. You become sick if you use it. It corrodes and coats items such as dishes and Tupperware and silverware with some kind of a greasy, slimy, thick, sickening residue. And right now there's barely any water coming out of this tap. The water to this tap was perfectly fine when I first woke up at around, 11:45 this morning. And now all of a sudden it is barely down to a trickle. Even though nobody is using the showers on this floor and nobody seems to be using the showers on the floor below, there's barely any water coming out of this tap. And it has started once again to cause the same skin burning and tingling as it has been doing when I use the shower in the bathroom down the hall over the last 2 weeks. At this point, it is safe to conclude that the water to this unit is not just being contaminated deliberately, it's also leaching into the water to the bathroom down the hall. And every single time I've tried to take a shower in the bathroom down the hall over the last 2 weeks, the water has caused some serious skin burning upon contact. And then I have to carry large bottles of bottled water from the store to rinse myself off in the shower down the hall when that water starts causing burns. Yeah, so there's no reason for the water to suddenly be down to a trickle in my unit. And it always happens when I try to use it to wash my face, brush my teeth, prepare food, wash dishes, etc. I can't use this water right now. It is causing some sudden burning. Yeah, I have to literally wipe my hand off. And as soon as I wipe my hand off, then the burning and tingling stops. It also seems to have some kind of a numbing agent in it because it burns and then it causes your skin to tingle and then your hand goes numb. And I've mentioned this in several videos that I've made over the last couple of weeks. I'm trying to rinse out some clothing in here. I wash my socks and my shorts and my t-shirts in here. But right now I can't put anything in here because this water has some kind of an additive to it that is causing an intense amount of burning, tingling, and numbness in my fingers and hands when I put my fingers and hands in this water. And the numbness, burning, and tingling goes away when I wipe off the water from my hand and rinse it off with water from this container. This is Poland Springs water, and I keep it right here in my sink in case I actually need to rinse off the tap water from my hands with bottled water. Jasmine Irizarry is a criminal operative whose services Mr. Oleg Eliseyev, the property manager of this property, has admitted to using, and he's a stupid criminal. I mean, he's basically a sociopath who likes to brag about how he has some kind of power over tenants. And he's mentioned multiple times that Irizarry, the psychopath, sex offender, and cyber criminal who he's been housing in the bathroom behind this wall since 2013, who he moved out of the bathroom behind this wall in 2022, but continues to house in this building right now, how she is so talented. She is so good at what she does. She can solve any problem and hack into anything. As he put it, she is so talented. She can get into anything. She can take care of anything. So basically, he's just admitted that he's using a criminal fixer to harass tenants who he doesn't like. Mr. Eliseyev is a huge BLM supporter. I'd say about 95% of the tenants in this building are BLM or behave like they're in BLM. So they all know each other. They're constantly getting really disruptive and aggressive out on the street. They come at me for no reason, start screaming and shouting things from cars that are sitting around the building late at night when I happen to get back to the building. They block access to the entrances, or then confront me in the entrances, or then follow me into the entrance from the cars where they sit for hours outside of the building and shout things at me when I come home. They literally get out of those cars, follow me into the entrance, and confront me. I actually have a video of that happened a few weeks ago. So this is all BLM ghetto trash, ass wipe, hate stalkers. And no, it's not a racist thing, because I strongly support the NAACP that actually does legitimately do things to help Black people. BLM is a scam, and everybody knows it. That's why Amazon has deplatformed BLM from their donation list. Ha ha, BLM, you're just nothing but a scam. You're a bunch of asswipe, perving, creeping trash who does absolutely nothing to elevate Black people and constantly engages in criminal activities and behaviors towards people who don't support their Marxist, communist, perving, creeping, sex offender interests, right? Because most of BLM is just a bunch of sex offenders. Candace Owens, a strong Black voice for women everywhere, and I love her, she actually did an investigative report on BLM and found that they had embezzled hundreds of thousands of dollars on strippers and hookers. And that's why Amazon deplatformed BLM. So when these asswipes in this building refuse to leave me alone and brag about how they're contaminating the water to my tap, telling me, oh, we're not using a saddle valve, we're using something else, but enjoy the boogers that we put in your hair. Well, then, anything is possible. And what I'm reporting sounds nuts, but it is not nuts if you're dealing with people who are themselves nuts and have nutty objectives and goals in their messed up, rejected, asswipe career thug lives, right? These are asswipe career thugs with nothing else to do but hate stalk women who make them feel rejected in some level, right? This is basically not a Black versus white issue. This is a male versus female issue. It's a perving, creeping sex offender versus victim issue, ultimately. And whenever I try to use this water for rinsing my mouth, my eyes, my face, and preparing food, it suddenly starts causing intense skin burns, tingling, numbness, and often it also smells really foul because Irizarry, the psycho scum asswipe piece of filth that Oleg Elisayev has been admitting that he's using for his own nefarious harassment purposes, she has bragged about how she's putting boogers in the hair, and I should enjoy boogers in my hair when I'm showering. So because Greenville is obviously in charge of this whole project, it's a waste of my time to be calling them, but I do have to document for court purposes that I notify them of bad conditions and that they're refusing to remedy bad conditions in spite of the fact that I keep notifying them.
Our office hours are from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Our office is currently closed. If this is an emergency, please press 1. Otherwise, press 2 to leave a voicemail for the front office. After the tone, please leave a detailed message with your name and number so we may get back to you when we return.
Hi there. It's right around 2:30 p.m. on Saturday, September 7th, 2024. I'm calling from Unit 89 to report that I'm unable to safely use the water from my kitchen tap at this time for any kind of hygiene purposes or dishwashing or cooking or ingestion, because there is somebody named Jasmine Irizarry who has repeatedly bragged to me about how she is contaminating the water to my kitchen tap, and that she's not using a saddle valve. She's using something else, who is at this time affecting the safety and quality of my tap water. And I am unable to use that water for anything right now. I keep having to go down the hall to the common bathroom on the other side of this floor where the water seems to be okay. Irizarry's use of some type of a saddle valve to contaminate the water to my entire unit appears to now be actually affecting the water of the bathroom down the hall on the same side of the floor, presumably because it is the same intake pipe that she has punctured and used a saddle valve on to pump in whatever contaminants that she might feel like pumping in. That is a scientific and technical fact that anybody can use an easy-to-use saddle valve against an intake pipe to a plumbing system to pump in whatever contaminants they want into that pipe that they have access to and can puncture with a saddle valve. A saddle valve is a very simple, easy to use piece of hardware that you can buy at any hardware store. And in 2019, your maintenance manager suggested that Irizarry might actually be using a saddle valve against the intake pipe to my kitchen tap to pump in the contamination that has been making me very sick and unable to use that water safely for 5 years now. I am recording this voicemail for legal purposes. Please tell Irizarry to stop using a saddle valve and to pump in contamination to my kitchen tap. I am unable to use it. And under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 239, Section 8A, I have the right to withhold rent for bad conditions that you guys are refusing to remedy or to address in any way. If you have any questions, you know my phone number. I am recording this voicemail for legal purposes. I will be following up with a written notification to you and your attorneys. Thank you. Yeah, well, this is all you can do, folks, aside from calling a professional plumber and having them diagnose the issue separately, which I actually might do. What else can you do? Just notify them that there's a problem with the tap water. And they always pass the buck and say, oh, well, we'll let maintenance know, or you should call maintenance. And maintenance never does anything because maintenance is obviously part of the same group that is causing the problem. They're not part of the solution.